Okay, we're live on the air now. All right, baby. This is a Run the Jewels podcast production. We're back again. My name is Patrick Julian, and this, for lack of a better title, we're gonna work on it, is "Hey Lady, You Call Him Dr. Jones" podcast with my very, very, very good friend Jake Haddon. Jake, introduce yourself.
That is the best name of a podcast I think I've ever heard. Call
So
him
we
Dr.
might keep
Jones.
it.
You can call me Jake. Uh, Glad to be here, Pat. Thank you for having me.
Of course. This is our show, baby. I mean, I'm not going to do a "Hey lady, you call him Dr. Jones" without Jake Hatton, so.
The one redeeming quality of Temple of Doom.
Mhm.
The one and
Exactly.
only.
Short round.
Short
That's it.
run.
That's it. Short
That's it.
round is it. Short round should have been made a franchise, but
The
they
Ewoks got a
weren't.
movie. You couldn't get a movie?
Ewoks in it, yeah. Short round is the Ewoks of the Indiana Jones franchise, 100%, without a doubt. Okay, so we're here to talk about the summer 2015 movie trailers that are now very much all over the internet. We saw them last night at Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
49. With this podcast, Jake and I are, I guess, allowing you into our world where all we do is talk about the new developments that are happening in film and television and entertainment in general, whether it's stuff from Marvel comic movies to our thoughts and opinions on cult classics like Indiana Jones and Star Wars and all the good stuff, to anything in between, because we get sidetracked a lot. So we're gonna dive right into this. So the first one I want to talk to is Fast Seven. So Fast Seven, everybody knows the backstory by now. The unfortunate passing of Paul Walker, and they look to have forged right on in his absence to finish the film. Jake, I'll throw it to you first. What'd you think of the spot that was on last night, or the trailer in general? What do you got?
I liked it. I was a little nervous. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it without Paul Walker. Like I'm really concerned about that. But I liked how they started off with Dom and Letty, and then they showed the house like from the first. You know what I mean? Like bring it back to the first movie, and then blow the shit up. And it's like, okay, this is the end. Like this is gonna be it. Um, I thought they did a good job introducing the Jason Statham's character into it because a lot of people haven't seen that post-credit scene.
Mhm.
One of the kids I was with didn't know that there was a post-credit scene at the end of was it Tokyo Drift or was it the last one?
So very, I want to say it was the very last one, but maybe.
Whatever. A lot of people haven't seen it. I haven't seen it enough to know which movie it's in.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I have some concerns, but I mean, I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I thought it was action packed. Looked pretty good. I think I, I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with a movie with The Rock, Vin Diesel, and Jason Statham.
That's the first thing I wanted to say. So, you lose Paul Walker. That's tough, right? Because Paul Walker is, him and Diesel are the cornerstones, 3,000% of that film.
Oh
So
yeah.
you lose Paul, because I know him. I know him on a first name basis. R.I.P. But you lose Walker, and can you pick up the slack with The Rock and Statham now as fixtures of the film? And I think you can. I think you can. I mean, those guys are powerful in their own right. They can hold their own and everything. Obviously, does the
Hmm.
story make sense? It'll, we'll see. It remains to be seen at the moment. They're up to their old tricks. They got all this outrageous nonsense going on. Let's drive my Ferrari from one skyscraper through to another,
I
and just
actually liked that a lot, dude.
do you really?
When they cut the scene at the end of it, I was like, "Oh, new commercial! Like that's a good way to end it." And then it jumped right in. I was like, "Oh shit, they got me!" Like,
And of course, it's all like organized with ornate terracotta warriors, just like waiting to be destroyed. And
what are they doing on the 30th floor of a building? I don't know.
I know, I just feel like one fraction of a centimeter off, you're smashing into like the floor of between two floors,
Yeah, he doesn't
and
miss, dude. He's the best driver
that's true.
ever who ever lived.
Dominic
Oh,
Toretto,
is
I
he
guess.
though? Timeout. That could be a debate.
in compared to like the cinematic universe, like
I'm
who could
saying
you?
like would Vin Diesel would Dom Toretto be a better driver than the Transporter?
Ooh, that is a maybe that's what they're trying to do here.
I
Maybe
mean,
they're kind of like it's a wink and a nod to the transporter like
if they
argument.
don't, if he doesn't say like I live by a set of rules or something, like I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be a little pissed.
A little disappointed. Yeah, I'm with you. Little bummed.
Yeah.
Um, but
So
in
wait,
general, go ahead.
I'm confused. Like I read something somewhere on the internet that said they like they use like mocap with Paul Walker's brother, I believe, to film his scenes in the movie. Like, is that what's going on?
I believe I heard that as well. Yeah, I mean, like I can't tell if they just have him die off in the story as well, or if they just kind of
I'm,
have him.
I don't know if I would feel right having someone else play that character. Like, I think they need to kill him off. As much as I would hate, I mean, to see it happen, I think they need to kill him off. Just
Yeah.
to the purists, the Fast and the Furious purists, are going to be very upset if they don't. I think.
Who are the Fast and Furious purists? Like those guys who are trying to like get street racing going in like Minneapolis or like little pockets of cities somewhere, like with their souped up, Mitsubishi Eclipses. And
Oh yeah,
I mean, sorry if you are one of them, whoever's listening to this in the future, but
yeah.
we need to you need to stand up and be counted because we don't know who you are and we'd like to
Very
know.
true.
But beside the point, yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna watch it.
Absolutely.
You got me. You got me. Here's my money. You got me. I'll watch it, no matter what. But yeah, I
And the
don't know.
story doesn't even have to make that much sense, to be honest.
Yeah,
The fifth
because
one didn't
all I
make any
saw
sense.
exactly, and I saw The Rock with a huge like chainmail,
Chain gun.
ridiculous, enormous thing, and yeah, forget it. Like, okay, I'll watch it now because The Rock is just mowing dudes down.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me, which we're gonna get into later, but was that The Rock shooting the dinosaur that was on the loose in Jurassic World last night? Did you see that part of the spot with that
No.
huge gun? It was like a
Out of the
huge
plane
yes,
or
yes,
the
yeah,
helicopter or
yeah.
whatever.
So it could be what's his name in Locke? No, Hobbs. Could be Hobbs. Just like
Hobbs.
he was vacationing on Jurassic World. He's like, oh, you got a problem? I got this big ass gun. Don't worry about it. Get me in a chopper, and we'll be all right. But
Maybe Schwarzenegger's driving the chopper.
which leads
Ripping
into
fucking
our other.
bullets.
Look at this. It's just yeah, okay, all right. We're probably annoying the viewers. So in
Yeah.
general, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch Fast Seven. It's gonna happen. I'm interested to see what they do with the Paul Walker story arc. Bummed out that he's not a part of it through and through. It's
Drive safe, viewers. Please,
drive safe.
for Christ's sake. I mean, go fast if you want, but don't go furious.
Don't don't go furious, please, for all of our sakes. Um, but it should be interesting. So yeah, so Fast Seven, that'll be on the lookout. When is that one? Is that April or May or I don't know. I can't remember.
Uh, I can check. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the two. They're usually always early spring, so I
Yeah,
always think
you
they're
kick
gonna
off
be
the whole summer season.
yeah. Universal usually slates them to be there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it'll be interesting. But one that is going to be in the middle of the summer, I believe that is July, is Ted 2.
Mm.
Now, I've seen the trailer. You've seen the trailer. Did you see the spot last night, the Super Bowl spot as well?
I did the Tom Brady spot.
Yes, yeah, because that was new footage.
Yeah.
That was new footage. What's your overall feel for Ted 2?
Here's the thing. Ted 2. I didn't love Ted 1 the first time I saw it. I
Yeah,
liked it more and more the more I watched it because, I mean, it's Seth MacFarlane just being Seth MacFarlane.
right.
If Peter Griffin was a teddy bear and a little bit dirtier and smarter than he is, that would be Ted, you know?
Well, yeah,
And that'll bring me to another point that I'll touch on later. But I think it could suffer from the same kind of, comedy sequel crap that The Hangover fell into, that Anchorman kind of fell into, that like just the same jokes recycled. I have faith that Seth won't do that, but I feel like even that scene in not in the Super Bowl spot, but the scene in the real trailer where they're in the woman's office and they're like pretending to be going back and forth like the judge, like overruled, sustained. Like I thought that was pretty funny, but it's that same speed humor that they do in the first one. I think they do that well.
Right. Yeah, no, I think they're going to try to recapture the same sort of magic with what they did, but you don't want it to get to a point where you're like, all right, you're forcing, the Tammy Lynn, Brittany Lynn, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I don't think they should reference Flash Gordon, personally. I know that gave him a huge resurgence, and that song freaking came back, and everyone and their brother was listening to it. I was like, you don't even know who Flash Gordon is. But that's just me being an asshole.
I'm with you, though. I didn't need a Flash Gordon revival. Like, I liked where he lived, the space he occupied back where we left him. Not that he needs to be left behind, but, it's whatever. So yeah, no, I'm kind of with you. Like, I liked Ted 1. I think it got hyped up real big, and it was definitely enjoyable. It went off on weird McFarlane tangents, sometimes a little too far. Even the Flash Gordon thing felt like a long extended rant or tangent that didn't make a total lot of sense.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of people out there who just love that sort of thing and will subscribe to it no matter what. But with Ted 2, I watched Ted 2, and I'd be lying if I told you I laughed once. I was like,
during the preview?
The trailer. Last night, I liked the Super Bowl spot with Brady. I liked that. I laughed at that.
I laughed at the perfect spiral joke. I thought that was great.
I laughed at the opening the sheet, and he's like, and that's at rest. That one got me a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if they're saving most of their like great bits for the real film, that's what you're supposed to do. Like that's what I expect.
Ted 1 kind of didn't do that. Like a lot of the funniest parts of Ted 1 were in the previews.
Right.
And like I feel like maybe he learned his lesson. I don't know. I hope he did.
I mean, I'll certainly watch it. Like I will with all this.
I didn't see it until it was on HBO. I'm gonna make it a point to go to the theater to see it. I hope. I might not.
We're gonna have a full slate though.
Yeah, dude. It's a lot. There's a lot of movies to see this year, dude.
I know. This is our time. We're hitting our stride. Good thing we started the pod.
This is a good time to start. Can I just little caveat? I'm pretty upset there was not a Marvel freaking trailer during the Super Bowl, like a better Ant-Man trailer or another Avengers trailer or something, anything.
A little surprising, right?
That's all I had to say. That's all I had
a little surprising, yeah. A little surprising. I would have thought they would have capitalized on that. Maybe because you know what? I bet you that if the Super Bowl was on ABC, we would have saw it.
Yeah.
Definitely. But because it was NBC, we're talking a lot about about Universal films that are being distributed this summer. But yeah, who knows? But I mean, we could. That's a 4-hour pod for us. We can do another time.
4-hour pod, 4 different forms of media.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Text messages, Facebook thread, G-chats, Snapchats.
Snapchats while we're doing it.
Yeah, while we're doing it. Yeah, Ted 2, it was filmed in my backyard here of Boston. Jake is coming to us live from the beautiful Princeton, Trenton areas of New Jersey.
Lawrenceville, what up?
Which one are you officially now? Is it Trenton?
It's called Lawrenceville. Please don't say Trenton. Not that there's anything wrong with Trenton. But if you say Trenton with a T in the middle, people know you're not from Trenton. Because it's Trenton.
I already have a Boston.
Just a wave in New Haven, where I hail from.
True. Connecticut through and through. I already have a Boston speech impediment as it is, which I think I've decided I'm going to call it a Boston speech impediment because it's not an accent. It's like I feel as if like I can't get rid of it. I can try my hardest, but I feel dumb feel a little dumb, dumber than I really am. I'm a smart person, but
It's
my
not
boss,
dumb. It just sounds uneducated.
it just sounds ignorant. So my Boston speech impediment will probably have to go by the wayside if I do make it out to sunny California in the next little bit. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, so I will certainly watch it. It was filmed all around different districts of Boston, and I saw some of the filming take place. And it's always great. Mark Wahlberg is pretty funny in comedies. I like
Yeah.
what he does. Underrated, maybe not underrated anymore, but a phenomenal performance in the other guys.
Oh yeah.
Just
Dude,
ruthless.
my first despot.
Yeah, toe to toe with Will Ferrell, which is tough to do. Um, just perfect characters. um,
But
but
at the same time, he can carry. I mean, he's one of my favorite actors, and I know people hate on him hard, and I get why. But I freaking are you drinking a ball?
quick shout out to the unofficial sponsor of the pod, Buy. We got Jake as the Buy Long Snapper of Buy Brands here representing, and I've got a whole box. I got a whole box that Buy sent when they decided to sponsor the pod. Buy sent some good samples. I appreciate it, Buy. Thank you.
Good man. Good man.
So
I actually got business cards made that say long snapper. Actually, director of long snapping.
fuck out of here. Really? That's awesome. That's great. That's perfect.
They were
So
like, I'm
Buy,
not paying for these. Anyway,
Buy,
sorry.
unofficial sponsor. On it, unofficial sponsor, whether they know it or not. And yeah, Buy Brands, baby. Drink Buy.
Play up.
You can, yep. We could do some plugs later. But anyway, Ted 2 looks cool. Hope it's not a comedy sequel disappointment, which is
Yeah.
sort of.
I don't see it. I don't see it like that because I mean, I did notice that I want to say I don't want to pass through Ted without saying this. The sperm donor bank, the sperm bank scene. That's a straight. I don't want to say ripoff because it was his, but that's a recycled joke from Family Guy, and that's one of my favorite Family Guy jokes when the thing falls on him and he goes, "Oh, I can feel him moving." Like that's one of my favorite Family Guy jokes, and I'm happy that he's reusing it, but I'm afraid that he might be running out of material.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I'm glad you brought that up because I watched it when I watched it while it was happening in front of me. I was like, I feel like I've seen this before. I don't know where, but it is exactly that. It's from a Family Guy spot. So yeah, hopefully we're not jumping the shark here with McFarlane's material. I'm sure we're not because he's a very smart guy. He's pretty brilliant. I mean, you have to make this movie because Ted 1 was the highest grossing R-rated comedy of all time.
Was it really?
Yeah, something like that. It's some like crazy astronomical thing. The viewers can troll me if I'm wrong. Our non-viewers,
They will.
fuck me, right? But so, but I'm pretty sure that that's the number. That's the case. So the studio is going to force you, no matter what, to make this film. So Ted 2, we'll check it out and we'll probably comment on it in a few months. All right, let's move on to Terminator Genisys. Now, interesting approach. Obviously, we all have seen Terminator get recycled through the laundromat a few times now. This is an interesting approach. It's a reimagining, a reboot in a certain sense, but it's not exactly the whole same storyline as the original.
Is that true?
Yeah, from the trailer, it looks like, and I admittedly need to research more about Genisys, but from the trailer, it appears as if, John Connor sends Kyle back. What's his name? Kyle Reeves? Kyle Reeves? That's the character's name?
That might be it. I'll check. I think it is that, though.
Okay.
Reeves.
So, yeah.
Riggs is... Never mind. Too old for this shit.
So, John Connor sends Kyle Reeves back and to help save his mother from the Arnold Terminator, but the new Sarah Connor, Khaleesi Sarah Connor, is mentions to him like, oh, we already took care of that Terminator guy. You're in a new reality because the timeline has been so tampered with. This is a new situation.
I like that.
Where, yeah, so it's actually an interesting storyline. I was gonna be bummed out and not very interested if it was gonna be just like a reboot or the same storyline recycled, but they're kind of turning it on its head a little bit, which is smart because if we're doing time travel, which obviously we know is, you kind of make your own rules with that. So make your own rules. So make your own story.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot because that's actually that's gonna happen in Marvel this summer. They're gonna end everything because they've gone back in time so many times that they just tore reality to shreds. So I like that I hope that they do that. I hope that that's what's going on because too many Terminator movies have happened, and they need to go the way of the X-Men and just go back and just erase them from history. I think
True.
the way the Future's Past just was like, yeah, oh yeah, by the way, those last two movies
Excuse me.
didn't happen. Just didn't happen. Last Stand, sorry guys, my bad. I fucked up. I wasn't there.
Did you not read, did you ever listen to one of the 3,000 things I've sent you over our friendship? But
Probably.
More recently, a Q&A with Simon Kinberg, who was the writer of, he's written like almost all the X-Men. He's written Last Stand, he helped write First Class, and he definitely just wrote Days of Future Past. He also just wrote...
I didn't get that one. I'll go check through my records.
I don't think I sent it to you. I think I sent you the Joss Whedon one.
You didn't send me Joss Whedon.
No.
You sent me James Gunn, though.
James Gunn. That's what
that
it was.
That was a good Q&A. That was a great Q&A.
They're all like it's like it's you and me porn. Like it's crazy.
It is.
It's I'll send it to you off pod. But
one thing that when I saw the trailer start for Terminator, I was like, fucking another Terminator movie, great. But I did like that it seems like they're sticking to the T-1000 and whatever the liquid metal guy, the T-1002, 1001, 1 million, whatever the fuck model number he was.
Yeah.
Because that was always a problem I had with Terminator 3. It's like, why do they need to keep making new Terminators? Like, they've got liquid metal is like the coolest thing you could come up with. You don't need to make it a chick who can make her boobs bigger. Just make it a badass killer. And it seems like I saw the guy throw his little sword hand, take it off, chuck it. That looked sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then you saw the guy who was like the sleeker version of the T-1000. Might have been made of metal. He looked a little fluid. But I'm interested to see them use just bare bones kind of... I'm sure they will introduce all different kinds of Terminators, but because computers can do anything now. But I don't know. That was one of my main issues with the last few movies.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So just to recap, where the antagonists here are that the Asian fellow who has a liquid metal aspect to his deal, and then another Arnold. So we got two.
Yeah, the young Arnold.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that'll be interesting to watch. Hopefully that adds a bit of dynamic to the storyline. How did you feel about get to the chopper, dive bomb onto the chopper scene?
I was gonna say that was. I was like, really?
I mean, it's done. It's out there in the universe. It's the genie's out of the bottle. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. We've seen it. So it's that's happening, world. So I kind of like. I'd be lying if I said that's never crossed my mind. Like, why don't you just, if somebody's indestructible, like if you're, like I think we've talked about. Oh no, we haven't. Originally, quick side note. Sorry, listeners. Quick side note. Simon Kinberg, the writer of most recent X-Men, Days of Future Past, they were trying to figure out one of the original versions of the Pentagon scene where they bust Magneto out. Mm-hmm. They weren't going to use Quicksilver. They were going to use a young Juggernaut. And the deal
heard that.
Okay. And the deal was Juggernaut just gets he just jumps out of this plane or chopper or something, and just boom right into the Pentagon and just burrows into it,
Hmm.
and Wolverine Logan follows him, and it's like that. But they made it different with Quicksilver. So
So happy they did that, but
so
still.
yeah. So when I saw the
The dive bomb.
the dive bomb Arnold dive bomb thing, I was thinking like, oh, like where did I just hear about this? And it's
I
kind of
did
like
like that he led with his face into the helicopter. Like,
commit to it. Got to
yeah,
commit.
commit. I mean, it's gonna be a great scene, like when the aftermath of it, when he like gets through the hull. If he lands inside the chopper and he gets up, his face is gonna be all torn up. If he goes all the way through and lands on the ground, and then the chopper falls down behind him, like they cut from like him going through in one side out the other. Then they cut to a far shot, him hitting the ground, chopper coming down behind him, him standing up with a fucked up face but metal underneath. I mean,
True. Yeah. It'll be interesting. I like the reimagining of what they're doing, and there's plenty of explosions. There's plenty of you got to hit the quotas for as much violence as you can for these films.
right. There's no Michael Bay movies coming out this year, are there? They need their explosions to come from somewhere.
Yeah, I mean they got to hit their quota somehow. If Michael Bay's not in the picture, that's like you gotta have like 6 films to make up for Michael Bay's one not being there. But no,
So,
no attack on Michael Bay. I love Pain and Gain, Michael Bay. So Bad Boys is dope. Bring
Bad
that
Boys
back.
2. I was talking about this today. Bad Boys 2 and The Terminator 2 are two of the only sequels that I think are better than the original movies.
I'm
And Godfather
so
2 as well. I'd say those three.
I'm so glad you said that because I was just about to kick that to you. Like I feel as if the Terminator 2 is better than Terminator 1, and that is hard to achieve.
Hmm.
Um, the Godfather, I mean that's another pod in general, but
Another part.
entirely.
Another.
That's a big one. I'll have to do like 12 hours of marathon watching for that one. But Godfather 2 is definitely
Come over.
holds its own. Yeah, there you go, exactly. Um, and what was the other one? Oh, Bad Boys. Yeah, Bad Boys is better than Bad Boys 2 is better than Bad Boys 1, definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah,
He killed yourself, mama. Very sad.
big eyes, but a nice fish. Um, so that's why I kind of like I definitely take the Terminator franchise seriously, so I don't want them to ruin things.
Yeah,
Um,
that's though. If they take this movie too seriously, it might fuck it for me.
which leads me to my last question about it. Amelia Clarke as Sarah Connor, new Sarah Connor Khaleesi. What do you think about that? How do you feel?
I have mixed feelings. I love her. She's one of my favorite actresses right now, obviously, because she's just the best. And not as a bleach blonde will be nice. To see her as not as a bleach blonde will be nice. But watching her as Khaleesi now, anyone watching this, I'm not a expert on her work, so I haven't seen all of her things. But as
So,
her
down
role as
boy, like relax, yeah.
right. Her role as Khaleesi, she's growing into that role of like badassery, and like she's getting there, and she's there. I mean, she's there now, but I don't know if she can be Sarah Connor badass.
See, I agree, but here's my approach with nervous about her being Sarah Connor. I think she's great. She does great work on Game of Thrones as Daenerys Targaryen,
Hmm.
and she definitely is a strong. She could play a strong woman very well because I'm sure she is in real life. But there's a certain. I think her name was Linda Hamilton, the original actress for the original Sarah Connor.
Hmm.
What that actress brought to that character was pretty phenomenal. I mean, you're not going to see it, put up against any Oscar winners or anything, but there's a level with that character. There's a level of psychotic paranoia that you have to bring to that role that I'm not sure if Amelia Clarke is going to capture. Maybe she will, but I'm not totally sold on it. Like she could definitely play badass. I'm gonna shoot guns,
Right, 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 right.
and
I know she better. I don't see her with the like lesbo mullet that Sarah Connor is supposed to rock.
right, running around the insane asylum and kicking the orderlies' asses.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a good point. That psychotic paranoia. I didn't even think of that. Like knowing you're right, but knowing that no one else is gonna believe you.
Right, like knowing that there's a nuclear holocaust coming,
It's
but
coming
nobody's
on its
gonna,
way.
yeah, on its way.
Already fucking works.
Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to believe you and everything. And she becomes like this crazy. Like we all know she's right, but it's
Right.
hard to defend her as you watch because she gets just crazy. She's like in the second movie, she like goes back to like her old stomping grounds in the middle of that like desert in either Arizona or just over the Mexican border or something,
Yeah.
wherever it was. And she's like she hung out there for a while, like learning how to become like a somebody who's an expert in guerrilla warfare or something like that, and is an expert at all these like crazy armed rifles and everything. But you know, but it's a level of just like has been pushed to the brink. Like this woman has been pushed to the brink, and there's no coming back from it.
I
Type of
mean, even just the events of the first movie, like just in the events of the first movie, seeing what she saw, like you said, to the brink and past the brink, and then to have everyone just throw it back in your face like you're crazy.
yeah, which is
Sorry,
actually
sorry
a
for interrupting.
no, please,
We're on
no.
a full roll.
I really like what the Terminator did in that sense, which I didn't really think of it until you just said that. So, um, they don't try to like pull the wool over our eyes or make it anything less than totally believable. If somebody walks into my room here, just south of Boston, and says, "I'm from the future," you have to come with me if you want to live, or like something like that, and then it actually and then it actually happens, I'm gonna be messed up for a very long time, forever. Like there's no coming back from that. Like I'm screwed.
Have you ever seen somebody die?
No, not yet.
No. Have you ever seen a giant man shoot everyone in the room around you? No.
Probably not.
And then
Right.
have you seen him like cut his own eye out to fix his body? No. 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 Shit was
Right.
nuts.
Exactly. So I like what the Terminator, the first two definitely did. They don't try to like, they don't try to pretend that, oh yeah, but it's cool. That all happened, but it's cool. I'm good. Like
Right.
I'm just go back
Right.
to, braiding my friend's hair and figuring out my college studies. No, like that woman is a psychotic person now because of it. So
Yeah.
I've always been really happy about that Terminator franchise doesn't try to, sweep it under the rug. It's important. It's realistic, even if it's totally an unrealistic film, but it has
No
such a
way, dude. Apple is kind of. I thought it was Droid. Thought it was Droid. It's
actively sniffing them out to see who it's going to be.
or it might be Disney.
But it's not Google because we're broadcasting on Google Hangout. We love Google Glass. We heard y'all are having problems, but we like it. So I don't know why I'm taking shots at Google. Sorry, I'm just going off. Shots fired for no reason. So let's move on. We've done a lot on the Terminator for whatever reason, but it was
And it's
good.
the movie I'm gonna have to probably do something illegal before I go see it.
That's a new
Like,
category. That's a new category for the pod. Illegal substances for which movie? Or like we're gonna have to figure it out. We'll come up with something more clever. But
yeah,
um,
I wanna like put myself in a corner here. But that's not a movie I'm just gonna go see on a whim. I'm
right.
sorry.
Yeah. So Terminator. We'll have to check it out. We'll see what happens when we get there. Uh, the last of the Super Bowl spots that we want to talk about, is definitely my favorite, the one I'm most excited for of the few that we're talking about. Jurassic World.
Mm.
Very excited about that. I really, really enjoy the casting of Chris Pratt, and the whole approach he's bringing to the character, which we don't know much about the character right now. But
True. But
uh,
just seeing him fuck around with like raptors, like, hey, eyes on me, eyes on me, good. Like, yes, Chris Pratt, yes.
sort of believable too. Like I don't know how he does it, but I'm kind of like, of course Chris Pratt knows how to tame raptors. I mean, Star-Lord, of course he does. Like, are we even like debating this? Of course.
Of course he does. Of course, it just makes sense. It's not hard.
It's
It's
science.
hard for us. It's not hard for him.
It's science. That's what it is.
Science.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, so Jurassic World, I really dug the scene with the pterodactyls just snatching people off the ground. I think that that's something that they didn't do well in, or they didn't really utilize well in the second Jurassic Park.
For sure.
They had pterodactyls, like, yeah, they're scary because they have air superiority, but, like, they weren't, like, coming down in droves like birds, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a tight
But,
move. I liked it.
yeah.
I want them, like, I want them to be, I know they can't, but I would want them to be ruthless with the pterodactyls. I would want them to come down and just, like, grabbing people by the head with their beaks or something, or, like, grabbing them with the talons and the claws and just, like, ripping them up. And this, I mean, maybe I'm a morbid person, but, like, I want it to be as realistic. If we're going to make a crazy, unrealistic film, I want it to be as realistic as possible. And those pterodactyls aren't going to just gently drop you into the nest. You
Yeah.
know, you're having some
Here
internal.
comes the birdie, here comes the birdie. For their kids, no, false.
No, it's not gonna be pretty.
I am really excited to see the new dinosaur.
Yeah, so that's definitely what I wanted to talk to next. So I think it's called Indominus Rex, which I kind of
Really?
yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. So kudos to them there. Oh God, why didn't you say kudos? I'm sorry. Yuck.
Hey, fine.
Take it back. Take two. Take two.
Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
That's right. That's right. It's already out there. Yeah. So Indominus Rex looks cool. I like the way that it's basically a killing machine and it kills for fun.
Yeah, that was really like that.
I enjoy that approach.
Yeah, I think the scene where they're running away and then they cut to him like under a car or something and they just show the teeth in the background open up. The thing about the old movies, like the teeth always looked kind of dull, like big long teeth, yeah, and like strong jaws, but they always looked a little dull.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Those teeth looked razor fucking sharp.
Hmm.
Like I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that thing. And I'm fully on board. They did it. And the claw coming through the window with the kids. P.S. Is that the kid from Iron Man 3?
P.S. It is. I'm pretty sure. Kind of a silent stole the show character too.
Of Iron Man 3.
Of Iron Man 3. Yeah, like the short round of Iron Man 3. Like he was nasty. He was great. One of my favorite parts of that is oh God, now I'm gonna butcher it. Actually, you know what? I can't even. We'll do it off pod. Off pod. Yeah, that is the same actor. I'm glad that kid's getting work because I enjoyed him. Obviously,
Yeah.
from Iron Man 3. One of the only things I enjoyed from Iron Man 3.
Don't
yeah.
hate it.
you have more of a sympathy for it than I do. But
Open.
Iron Man is I don't know. Iron Man's my thing. I'm.
I know he is.
Oh, I need the Iron Man thing. I should. I got the mask. I should have it behind me or something. But yeah, I enjoy that actor. I'm glad he's in it. I kind of like too the approach where the two kids, they look like they're alone. They look like they're alone in the park and they're gonna have to figure it out. I like that.
Maybe they're doing something dubious.
Maybe.
Get stuck. I don't know.
Maybe. It's like them. I bet it's gonna be like them who figure out how to take down Indominus Rex or something.
Yeah, like maybe he idolizes Chris Pratt, and then like he's like, "It's up to you." Like, you need to do this. I don't know.
Exactly.
Obviously, my acting chops.
We'll work on it. It certainly isn't inside the actor's studio, so no
Yeah.
worries. Um,
Jesus. Honestly, though, that trailer, what made that trailer so sick, like while I was watching, I was like, getting goosebumps was the music, the score underneath, like the original, like da da da, but just like creepier and better. And oh my god,
it's so important. The music is always, especially with films of that magnitude,
yeah,
like action adventures and things like that. With the scope of it feels so large, there has to be the right music. If it's the
it
music
does.
doesn't work, it's doing the film a huge disservice. So I'm glad, they're using parts of what they're started with, and I love Jurassic Park. Like, I'll take a lot of those. Like, you can keep rolling them out. I'm probably not gonna get bored of it as long as
Yeah.
you can figure out how to do it right. I'm there.
What
I'm
was
down.
the one where the parents were like getting divorced at the beginning and they like plane crashed? Was that the third one?
Um,
Or like they were divorced and like they saw each other and like they were on the plane with the kid and there was like little scavenger dinosaurs like a fucking team of them come.
I'll tell you what you're thinking of. I think you're thinking of like the young family that was on holiday or something around the island, and they stopped on like one of the islands, and the little girl like came like left the beach to play like over on the side, and those little things ripped her apart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is that what you're talking
yeah.
about? Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the second one,
I don't know. I don't know.
maybe.
I haven't seen them in so long. The only one I watch if it's on is the first one. Like I don't ever see the second one on.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of the
Um,
first one, do you think now if you're making Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, do you give Jeff Goldblum a cameo?
I do 1,000%. There's
Is
no
there
reason.
Jurassic Park without Jeff Goldblum?
There is not. There's no reason why he's not in that film. I don't know if he's going to be or not, but uh, you need him. What's he gonna say? No? What's he gonna say? He's busy. He's needs to be there. Like, what are we doing?
Oh,
Jeff
can't
Goldblum needs to be in
yeah.
there. Life finds a way. Goldblum finds a way to be in Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, whatever we're calling it now. He needs to be in there. So I'm gonna be upset if Jeff Goldblum isn't in there, but um, underrated. Like he should have been in a lot more cool stuff. I mean, Independence Day, all the Fly, and I like him a lot.
I like him a lot in SVU too. I mean, not SVU. Law and Order Criminal Intent. He took over for Vincent D'Onofrio for a little bit.
Did he?
So good. So I don't know if he still does it. I don't think he does.
I'm not a fan of Dick Wolf's work with all those things. It just feels like it's made for my grandma. And that's not like me trying to insult the people who watch it. I just like I can see what's going on. It's like I'm just not into it. I
It's
don't
called
know.
dramatic irony. Oh my god, try it. Fuck.
You know me. I thumb my nose at things I think I'm, too good for no reason. I'm not sure why where this haughty air of bullshit comes from, but maybe I'll have to go back and see what I've been missing. I've just been put through a lot of SVU marathons with my sisters. Like,
If you're not ready for an SVU marathon, you can't get into an SVU marathon. You
quick
need to be
question: What is
mindset. You need to be super hungover, and you need to be
fair?
under a blanket.
Fair. Okay. Jeez.
And it needs to be about 32 degrees below zero outside, so you don't want to leave your bed. And then you're like, I wonder who killed and raped this little baby's body, like after he was dead. Like it's the most fucked up shit you've ever seen on TV.
And why do women love it? Why do girls love it? It's like I don't
I don't
know a
know.
girl who
Why do
doesn't
they love
know.
50 Shades of Grey, which we're not talking about in this podcast
Which we're
because
not
we have
talking
Pornhub
about.
and we don't need to pay $10 to see a fucking movie about porn.
Yeah,
It's
we're
all,
not doing that.
I don't.
Like Charlie Hunnam should have been in it anyway, but
Ooh, was he in the running for that?
was given it and then he pulled out. Ooh, I didn't
Oh,
mean
I
to
would
make
have
a
seen it if
pun.
he was. I would have seen if Jackson Teller was whatever his name, Dorian Gray. Is it Dorian Gray? If Jackson Teller was Dorian
Christian
Gray,
Grey. Christian Grey.
Dorian Gray is the guy with the painting.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
portrait. But if it was Jax Teller, I would have been all about that.
All right, we're not
Sorry,
talking about it. We're not talking about it.
sorry.
We're not talking about that mess.
Jurassic World,
Jurassic World though.
probably going to be the best movie of these previews.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the best movie of the year, though.
Yeah, or the blockbuster season, right.
Right.
But
I mean, best movie. It's not going to win an Oscar, probably, but like, it's going to be sick.
course, what we're talking about. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. I do like the approach where the Chris Pratt says at the end, like, we're going after that. We're going after that thing. We're going after him with everything we got. That means all the other animals on the island, we're just, taking the fight to them, and that's where the raptor pals come in, I guess. So that's pretty cool.
Uh-oh. My computer
So
might.
I can see you.
I'm just saying, if my computer dies,
Oh, gotcha. All
it's
right,
I
so
switched to my phone. I think I can have Google Hangouts on my phone.
hmm. Well, we can move on anyway because we've done a lot with
Yeah.
Joseph. So, last but not least, this was not on the Super Bowl spot last night, but we can't not talk about it because both of us follow it religiously. Game of Thrones season 5 trailer. A lot of big stuff happening. Real interesting storylines. Jake's
Dude,
got this set.
I'm looking for that. I don't have the last one, the Dance of Dragons, and I've only read the first two.
Okay, so you're where I'm at. All right, good.
I'm,
I was
I'm
gonna,
where you're at.
that's my question because I couldn't remember if you've read them, and this was going to be less fun if you had read them. So
No. It's not, that's part of the reason why I haven't read him because I've heard that he's not going to finish the books before the series is over. So I want to. It was so hard to get through the first one because I watched the first season like literally 7 times. Like I watched it by myself twice, and then I made my dad watch it, then I made my sister watch it, then I made Vinny watch it, then I made like all my friends watch it. Like I watched it so many times that the first book is like, dude, I've seen this so many times. Though I do love the backstory in the books. That's a complete digression. Um, Tyrion Lannister's beard.
Ooh, is it fierce? Wow, do I like it? Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. I'm into that a lot. Really enjoy it. I think it's important for his like I'm an outcast vagabond type of Lannister approach. Really into that. Really into Eris. What's his name? The eunuch.
Yeah, Varys.
Varys. I'm sorry, Varys. Really gonna be glad to see them two kind of vibing off each other going forward and having an important relationship across the sea there. So I'm stoked to see that. Like that, there's a lot of things I'm excited for, but that is far and away a big one.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm also really excited to see what happens with Jorah Mormont. I mean, not Jorah Mormont. What's his son's name?
oh God, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's
His
so
name is
many.
Mormont, but I can't think of his.
Khaleesi's Mormon, yeah,
Yeah, because she kicked him out. She booted him out.
yeah,
And that scene with him in like the gladiator ring with the guy spinning the stick. I know he can handle himself in a fight, but that guy looked like he meant business.
right, yeah. That'll be interesting to watch. Why do we know why he's there? Why he's in that predicament?
She probably sent him there because she was probably like, "This is your penance,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like for trying to have me killed." Like, he's such a dick, but he's a good guy. I mean, he got dealt a bad hand.
Yeah, it's tough. Wouldn't want to be him. What about the weird relationship that's going on between Littlefinger and Sansa? She's clearly a captive. Like,
But is she though? Dude, at the end of what dude, at the end she was like all for it. I don't know how I feel about that cuz he's a creepy fuck. The thing about her is she knows how to survive, dude. Being thrown into that shit and having her dad killed, she knows how to make it. She's going to make it.
she had the worst go of it of any of the kids, you think?
Interesting. Maybe cuz she was like stuck with Joffrey. But like she was the shittiest character I thought at the beginning. And now she's like finally getting interesting. I hope. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
I like,
Jon
yeah,
Snow's just a fucking superhero.
it's true. Now she's Jean Grey, so she better
Yeah.
bring some heat to this season 5. Um,
Arya didn't have it very easy either, though. But
no,
I'm. That's what I'm most excited to see. as her in Bravos.
Yeah, she's just gonna become like some nasty assassin,
Yeah,
probably.
her picking up needle off the ground, being like, "My shit."
Yeah, yeah, that'll be good. I'm excited to see that. I'm very excited for the moment that Tyrion meets Daenerys. Like, those are my two favorite people. So seeing them come together.
Oh baby, hold on.
Did you figure out how to do it from your phone?
I did because my computer is dying, like as we speak. It was
Look
at
at
3%.
Wow, I'm impressed. You're gonna have to show me that trick. Um, that's awesome. So yeah, I'm really stoked for the moment, hopefully, that Tyrion comes face to face with Daenerys. So
Yeah, I mean, that's if that happens. I feel like that's not going to happen till the very end of the season, or at least the mid-season. Like that's going to be a big lead up.
yeah, I would hope
Um,
so. I mean, I don't want to see it right away, definitely, but
right, well, I mean, I do, but like you're not gonna like the way Thrones does it is like they give you everything in the preview, and then they just take their sweet ass time getting there, which is I'm fine with, 100% fine with.
mhm.
But there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Are they gonna do? Because I know the books don't take place like chronologically right after one another. Are they gonna follow Bran Stark up in the north
Bran is not
mid-season
involved, not
at
at
all?
all. Yeah, because our good friend Corey told me that who has read all the books that we have seen all the viewers of the show have seen everything that the readers know
Really?
about Bran. Yeah, so there hasn't even been there's no more storyline written for Bran so far. So
That actually quells my fear that I was just gonna say because like I was saying that I was gonna say that's a risky call to take a child slash teenage actor out of a show for a whole season and then bring him back in because he's gonna grow so much. Like I don't know if you've ever watched Once Upon a Time, but the kid in that show was like kind of cool in the first couple seasons, and then now he's like hitting puberty and he's so awkward and annoying. So like I don't want that to happen with Bran. That was already happening with Bran a little bit in the last season. Like
mm,
that could be risky. But if he's not going to be in the show anymore for a couple of years, that he can be as old as you want him to be. I'm pissed that that's not going to be in there because that was a cool storyline.
I know I like that too because that was like the one that was the most important. It felt like what was going on with Bran was like um, the pivotal story arc of what was going on in the Seven Kingdoms. So,
I still think he's going to warg a dragon. That's got to be what he does.
oh my, I hope so. That would be awesome. The dragons. Can we talk about the dragons real quick? They
We
look
could talk about the
awesome.
dragons.
They look awesome. Like the shot that they showed us of like one of them being in the shadows and then just like coming into the fold and just lighting it up. Yeah, that looked pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't take much to entertain me, but uh, I like it.
And for people who have read the books and are watching this, like, come on, bear with us. We haven't. We don't know what's coming. Don't
Right.
be those guys.
We
But like,
apologize. But this
yeah.
is what it is. Yeah.
So gonna be so sweet. Gonna be so sweet.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be great. I'm really excited for it. It looks like it's gonna be what, the second week of April. So,
Yeah, April 12th.
yeah, that'll be
Um,
great. We'll do another one. We'll do a strictly GOT pod maybe one time
dude,
with Corey.
I'm down to do a live viewing if you're down. Watch it together.
Ooh, ooh, companion. Joe Rogan does a great thing called Fight Companions, where on his pod, him and a guest panel, they watch the fights and they comment and like do a live pod. It's awesome. That'd be a cool format to use for something like that. But
Remember that?
yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Give me what your favorite trailer that we didn't talk about, what we talked off pod in the beginning, real quick.
Okay, it's kind of a toss-up,
I
but
love this already.
I thought because I know nothing about what it's going to be about.
Yeah,
Whatever that movie's called, Tomorrow World or Tomorrowland,
George Clooney's. Yeah,
George Clooney. I mean, that looks kind of cool, and it's going to be interesting, I think. But my favorite movie that we haven't talked about I think, is going to be Pitch Perfect 2.
Okay, pitch
Did
me
you
Pitch
see
Perfect.
the Packers in Pitch Perfect 2?
I didn't see the spot last night. I think I was getting home or something. I'm not sure. But admittedly, I haven't seen the first one. Yeah, I'm one of those.
That's fine.
Um,
Hey, that's fine. I listen to a lot of Pentatonics. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Pentatonics, check them out. Everyone in the world, check them out.
is that an a cappella group?
Amazing a cappella group. They won whatever the a cappella show is, like season 2 or 3. It's not The Voice. It's like not the X Factor. It's something where everyone sings a cappella. It's freaking great, man. It's so good. Anyway, Pitch Perfect 2 is gonna be sick.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I mean, I've never seen, I don't know anything about them, but
I mean, it's such a chick flick, but it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be better than the Valentine's Day cash cow that's coming out, 50 Shades of Porn.
yeah, that's officially Fandango released the fastest pre-sale of an R-rated movie of all time.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
That makes me so mad.
I'm not
It's
interested.
because Michelle Obama read it.
That's really, you
If
think
she
so?
didn't read it, that book would have done shit.
Did she really tell people she read that?
I think she like promoted it like fervently.
I see. I've heard
I
this.
am also often wrong, so that
Preface
might
this
not
with
be true at all.
See, I've heard from trusted sources, family me female family members of mine, and I heard last night from a female friend of ours as well, who I was watching the Super Bowl with, that the writing is horrible in that book, just atrocious, like a third grader type of level
Really?
of literature. Yeah, oh yeah, just like atrocious. Um, and
I made
I
a
mean,
vow that I was never going to read it, but
right.
if it's that bad, I might have to read it.
I mean, it's literally like apparently you feel like you've lost like 12 grades of school when you read it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right,
Um,
give me for a second. I have to take a short trip down the stairs. I don't know if you're paused or if I'm
no, no, I
paused.
got you. So you're
I
just
need to
on the
grab
road.
my Lipitor. No.
I love that. Obviously, we both know. Well, I think that was on each other's Facebooks. That's why.
Plugs,
Um,
though. This is a great plug. Literally, it's a plug. It's called a Power Rock. It's like a portable charger. I highly recommend them because my phone's going to die too. Because I'm the worst planner in history.
that's all right. You have good insight, so we'll keep you around. Um, as you blow up. But yeah. So not into 50 Shades. I'll gladly pass on that. I think I'll make it a point to never view it, no matter what. But
Right. I mean, if it's you watch this and you're going to get laid, I may watch it, but I highly doubt that's going to ever happen.
true. Not true because you can't. You know what I mean.
No, I'm saying if there's ever a girl that says that, I'm going to be like, I don't know. This might be the red flag that puts me over the edge.
Just yeah. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Question though, I don't know if you saw I think I saw it during the Super Bowl, the Seventh Son, Jeff Bridges weird movie. I felt like that movie came out 2 years ago.
I was thinking about this too, and I'm trying to categorize these films into like a sweeping generalization that I can unfairly make, just to mention them all. But yes, I feel like that's very much deja vu for some reason.
I feel like I saw that preview and I was like, the Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. That's so silly, Jeff Bridges. And I feel like I was in school when that was happening. I don't know.
That feels like to me like a fantasy version of I Am Number Four. I don't know why that's sticking out in my mind,
Maybe.
but that's the only thing I can juxtapose it up against. Um, anyway, you got any other quick thoughts before we depart?
Um, trying to think. Uh, Thrones is gonna be sick. You're gonna have to come down to New Jersey soon.
300%.
I'm gonna be in Boston next weekend.
This
Other
weekend.
than that, like, not really much else that we should talk about on the lines, you know.
Gotcha.
But what was your favorite Super Bowl commercial while we're still here?
I did this on. You haven't gotten to it yet, but I did
I
this
haven't.
with Nick and my two siblings.
Hmm.
My favorite was the Doritos ad, where the guy's like, "I don't want anybody to sit next to me on this plane," and then the hot mom walks up and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, okay, you can take this." And he sees the baby and he drops the bag and just disbelief and disappointment. I thought that was the best one, for me at least. And
Yeah.
what was yours?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I felt it hard to get into them because they were. I feel like every other commercial was like super dark for no reason. Like, what does Nationwide have to do with dead children? I'm sorry. That put a bad taste in my mouth. And like, I
You,
normally like the taste of dead children in my mouth, but um,
yeah, you went there, didn't you? Well, okay.
on that note,
Um, no, see, when you have to put out a PR statement clarifying what you meant in your Super Bowl ad, just a fundamental failure.
yeah,
Fundamental.
I saw a
Um,
great meme. I don't know if I sent it to you. The kid from that commercial saying, "I
yes.
would have handed it to Marshawn, but I died." I think that is just genius. And anyone who doesn't, we
Needs to lighten up.
disagree.
Yikes. Yeah. That commercial was wow. It's
So
definitely
bad.
it's definitely grabbed people's attention, which is
That's
probably
true.
what they were trying to do in the first place, get people's attention. But
Right.
now it's backfiring hard. I haven't looked to see what the new clamoring about it is today after the fact. I'm sure there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there and self-righteous, crusaders who are going after them pretty hard now. Some with good
Yeah.
reason, some with not. But um, I'm not sure with the backlash that they're experiencing. But it was just a weird take, weird approach.
Yeah.
This cost you $4.5 million to put your ad in the Super Bowl. So when it's just like I said, fundamental failure, you've pissed
Yeah.
4.5 million drain. It's crazy.
I said this last night. I was like, I wish I could have been in the room with them. And somebody stood up or raised their hand and said, "You know what we should do? Dead kids." And
And who
somebody
said yes?
said, "Yes."
You know what? We were looking for something like that, edgy, but really captures the attention. Yeah, dead kid. Let's do that.
Give them a raise. The Jeff Bridges Ohms commercial is probably the best one.
Squarespace, another unofficial sponsor of the pod. Squarespace is phenomenal. My brother and I have used it before. We've made dummy websites. It is terrific. It is the best thing ever. And we both like that. My brother and I, we were talking about it earlier. We liked it because you see that and you're like, I gotta go look that up. Like, what is
Yeah.
that? I'm gonna go look that up.
We tried to make the site crash. Well, I mean, we didn't. There were five of us, but we were like, this site's going to crash in less than a minute. Let's all get on it first. And it
Right.
did.
It's great. I mean, I was pumped about it because it's kind of a small time website that's only just coming now to the forefront, but it's really great. It's an awesome site, and the ad was great. I liked it a lot. Um, but all right, we got any other closing remarks here? Any buy plugs? You know?
No, man. I'm not one to shamelessly plug a 5-calorie, 1 gram of sugar, all natural antioxidant podcast.
You're the best. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. I really appreciate that. Bye. Unofficial sponsor of the pod, whether they know it or not.
Honestly, though, I'm so happy that you called me today.
Mm.
I don't know everyone watching if they know the story because I don't know if you broadcasted it, but I got a phone call at work today. Hey, we're making a podcast tonight. Best news I had all week, all month. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and this is the first of infinity, so we're gonna do a lot of these. So people are gonna have to settle in because they're in it for the long haul now. You're stuck with us, so
We
you-
may need to streamline it a little bit. We had a lot of tangents today.
we're gonna get better. We're gonna get better, definitely. We did a lot of sidetracks, and yeah, a lot of different things, but we cover a
Tell
lot of
us what you
content.
think.
Tell us what you think. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's going to be called Run the Julz. That's the podcast channel. That's going to be my brand. Jake is gladly being so gracious to be a part of it for the Hey Lady, you call him Dr. Jones podcast.
You call him Dr. Jones, lady.
Where we talk about popcorn, headache, pop culture, and just go off on crazy tangents like this and give you some idea of what's coming out on the silver screen.
Love it.
And the small screen and everything. So, without further ado, thank you to my partner, Jake Haddon, on the Hey Lady, You Call Him Dr. Jones podcast presented by Run the Julz. This is Patrick Julian signing off for Jake Haddon. Way to work, people. Thank you.